they first asked me to do this BBC the day of the ordination, and I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it then. Yeah, because we just have finished about like 2 weeks of exploring monastic life, and then a day to teach the meaning of the ordination, one day to rehearse it, then the last day to actually do it. So it's been a pretty intense last 2 weeks. So the ordination was just 2 days ago, but I'm hoping that the joy and happiness that we felt during it continues and to last. So I wanted to talk about that, and because there's a verse at the end of the ordination ceremony. By the way, I should tell you who we ordained. So Nicole is now Venerable Thupten Rinchen, and then our triple S, Stephen, Stacy, and Sydney, all became Anagaricus. So there's a verse of rejoicing at the end of the ordination ceremony. And it says, how wonderful when one encounters the Buddha, there is no one who is not happy. And after you've gone through this whole ceremony of, people really expressing their innermost spiritual longing and wish and determination, because that whole mental shift in how you look at life lies behind the ordination. Yeah, so the ordination isn't just changing clothes and getting a new hairdo. It's really about this change in the mind of what's important in your life. And so people, that change can happen many times, but at an ordination ceremony, people are expressing it verbally, which they don't always do. And so when people express it verbally and you're involved in hearing it and then giving them the precepts that embody that determination and aspiration, then it's something quite different, because then the shift isn't just one's own internal shift, it's something that the whole community shares. It's now something public that everybody can partake in and rejoice about. Okay, and it's really a beautiful thing when you see people express this. So at the end, when we sing this verse, how wonderful when one encounters the Buddha, there is no one who is not happy. Everybody's really happy then. And you're thinking, okay, here's somebody who's encountered the Buddha, heard the Buddha's teachings. They really rang true, totally transformed this person's life and what they saw as the purpose and meaning in their life and the direction that they wanted to take their life. And so they're really happy and we're really happy for them. Okay. In the past, we have created merit and generated the wish to meet the Buddha Dharma. So why is this moment coming about? Because we created the causes, all of us, in the past. Okay, so this is reaffirming the whole notion of dependent arising, that who we are, what we do, that things don't just happen on the fly out of nowhere, but that we create our own experience by our deeds, be they physical, verbal, or mental deeds. So the fact of this joyous ordination happening is something that we created the cause for, okay? And so the causes were internal on the part of the people who got ordained, but the causes were also external because there's an abbey at which we could hold the ordination ceremony. if there's no abbey at which you can have an ordination ceremony, and nobody who translated and published the texts that are the ordination, uh, contain the rite, then you might have that aspiration inside, but you don't receive the precepts and the ordination, and so the joy is definitely mitigated. But here, we're rejoicing not only at the result, but the fact that we all created the causes for this wonderful result. Okay. So Buddha, and now we have obtained great Dharma benefit. So we created the causes, now we're experiencing the benefit. Okay. And it's the Dharma benefit. It's not the benefit of winning the lottery. Okay. It's not the benefit of getting a promotion. It's not the benefit of, getting new clothes or something like that. It's the benefit of really putting your life in a virtuous direction and taking responsibility for our own actions and for generating these wonderful Dharma aspirations, and then go about creating the causes to fulfill them. Okay, then there's another verse that we chant after the rejoicing verse, okay? And this one says, go forth to enter the path. So going forth means you go from home life, householder life, family, career, all of that, to homeless life, which here means the life of a spiritual renunciant. So somebody whose life is not involved with family and money and career and status and social life. Okay, so here we're really telling the people who ordain, go forth to enter the path. Okay, enter the path that goes to awakening. Cut off the bonds and bid family farewell. Okay. Now, what this means is that you are taking the monastic road. Okay, it doesn't mean you never see your family again. You're always their son or their daughter, or brother or sister, whatever. Okay, but we're making the determination to relate to our family in a little different way. We're not going to get involved in family dramas. Yeah, and that's actually, that would be nice if we didn't do even as lay people. And in fact, it would be nice if the people creating the family dramas weren't involved in the family dramas too. Okay, so it's really making a determination that we're, not to do that. Now you are imbued with the precepts. Okay, so you have the precepts. Now, what are you going to do? It says, resolve to cut non-virtue and cultivate compassion. So now that's your work when you ordain, yeah? To notice the afflictions in your mind, apply the antidotes, yeah? Purify any destructive karma previously created, making sure we dedicate all of the virtue of self and others to awakening, yeah? So to cut non-virtue, abandon what we should abandon on the path, and to practice to practice on the path, which primarily here is cultivating compassion. Okay, so this is reaffirming that as we practice the path, it's not for our own benefit. Yeah, I'm not ordaining so that I will become someone in the Buddhist community and be some important figure. Okay, we're not doing it for the benefit of my practice. Okay, that we're really changing our orientation, and we want to help the Dharma to exist in the world. We want to preserve the Dharma from one generation to the next, so that people in the future will have the benefit of being able to meet the Buddha Dharma, meet the monastic path, and practice it. And we're realizing that we have that opportunity because for 2,500 years before us, millions of people did this. And, part of their reason was to preserve the Dharma and the ordination lineage so that we can come along and benefit from it. So now we're stepping up to the plate and we're assuming the responsibility to carry on the teachings and the ordination lineage for future generations. Okay, what motivates us to do that? Compassion. So that's why it says, resolve to cut non-virtue and cultivate compassion. Okay, because if we're going to preserve the teachings on a societal level, and if we're going to attain full awakening on a personal level, then we have to, abandon non-virtue, resolve, purify non-virtue created in the past, and really generate strong compassion, which will spur us to gain the wisdom that is necessary, first, to cut the root of samsara, and second, to be able to benefit other living beings in the most skillful way, in the skillful way possible. Okay. And then this verse goes on, it says, renounce illusion, return to the truth. I really like those lines. Very simple. Illusion. All the junk that our mind projects and imputes and exaggerates that does not exist on the people and things and situations that we impute, exaggerate, and project them on. And it's because of all these fabrications originating in our mind, projected outward, that we have so much confusion and misery in our lives, okay? Because we have totally unrealistic ideas of who we are, who everybody else is, what to expect of life. Yeah, so you've heard me talk a lot about my personal rules of the universe and ask you if you have personal rules of the universe. These are the kinds of illusions that we are projecting outward, like, I should get everything I want, and everyone should appreciate me, and no one should dislike me, and definitely nobody should criticize me, and on and on and on and on. And because we have all these imputations, then which have nothing to do with reality, and all the expectations, then we get quite miserable. And the root projection that we have is that there is an inherently existent I. Inherently existent everything, but especially me. Okay? Because as soon as there is this solid me, yeah, then that me needs to be protected and it needs to be made happy. So I get attached and my sticky fingers want everything that I think is going to make me happy. And I get upset when people don't follow my rules of the universe. And why do I get upset? Because this I that my ignorance has created that does not exist at all feels harmed, feels threatened. Okay? So it's like in a dream. There's a person in the dream. There's an I in the dream. Yeah? If a dog chases you in the dream, that person you are in the dream is afraid. Why? Because they think that they're a real person. Actually, they're just a dream person. Yeah, there's a dream person. The dream person exists, but it's not a real person. Yeah, in the same way, in our waking hours, there's a dependently arising me, but there's not this big, solid, inherently existent one. Yeah, the dependently arising me, it doesn't get bent out of shape when there's criticism or threat, because it realizes that there's nothing concrete there to destroy or threaten. But when we cling on to this false notion of who we are, boy, then everything, we divide the whole world into what could possibly benefit me and what is threatening me. And that is our perspective as we go through the day. What will benefit me? What threatens me or annoys me or inconveniences me or whatever it is. And so that just creates so much misery. Yeah. So when we renounce the illusion of these projections and return to the truth that there's no inherently existent I, although there is a dependently arising one, then our mind can be peaceful. Then we can really work for the benefit of others. And then this verse concludes with, how happy is the door to liberation. So that's the end of the verse where we all go, yay! Okay, because this is the door to liberation, and we have opened it, and we are going in that direction.